And welcome back to a Fields of Zen tutorial. I'm Scorp, and today we are going to be learning about the Sorting Hoppers plugin. It is a absolutely wonderful thing. If you've ever seen a natural sorting hopper that people can make with redstone, it is a contraption that's like 6 blocks deep or something. It's just crazy. Now, whoops, I forgot I'm in. Now, here's your normal hopper. All right. And I should have probably kept the chests or something. So here's your normal hopper. And how a normal hopper works is no matter how you send things to the chest, anything that falls into any of these, including things that are thrown, will go into the chest. And that's absolutely fine and good. But what if you want to throw a bunch of things into these and you don't want them to go to the same chest? And that's what we're learning about sorting hoppers today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another chest over here and I'm going to build what, give me a second, my thing's open in the background. I'm going to build essentially what the hopper line looks like. What is needed for the sorting hopper to work. Now, you need to have a hopper line that goes above the sorting hopper. So the hopper that goes into this chest is going to be a sorting hopper. And it needs to go directly underneath so it can pull things. Because how they normally work is if I were to put planks, those aren't getting all the way down here. They first get priority from this hopper because this is closest, and it pulls at the same rate the items go past. So it ends up down here in this hopper. Alright? And so only if nothing is pulling down this entire line will it get here. You can see them shoot past, and then there they go. So, what a sorting hopper does is you put the block you want it to pull. Alright, so I would put in that wood, and then I would send wood into this line from anywhere, and then I'd send stone through and cobble and whatever, and it would only pull, it would only give priority to the wood. It would only recognize the wood, and it would pull it and put it into here. So the first thing you need is, there's a sorting hopper recipe. It requires a something. I can't even remember. I always just use an anvil. The first thing you need is an anvil. You're going to put the anvil down. You're going to put the hopper in it. And you're going to name it Sorter. S-O-R-T-E-R. I'm going to grab that. Alright. After that, you will see a difference in both the item name, hopper, sorter, and it's got one tag, and when you look into it, 5 slots, item sorter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 slots. Oh gosh, it's got a lot more slots than I used to remember. Now, very important. What you're going to do is you're going to go into this hopper, this one here, the sorting hopper that is below your main hopper line. All right? If the hopper above it points to it like this, it will not function correctly. It will just let anything through. Okay? The hopper above it cannot point directly to it. It must point past it so that the items continue to travel past. All right? I'm going to put let's do lapis lazuli. Now, you saw I clicked on that, and all of a sudden there's a lapis lazuli up here. Lapis lazuli. That doesn't normally do that. Normally it just takes it. Alright? But, you'll also notice I didn't lose it. I didn't lose it. I've got 30, now I've still got 30. Okay? Now, this is saying it's going to take the lapis lazuli. It will take any lapis lazuli that goes in here. So, if I open a chest and I dump in ladders, sticks, and lapis lazuli. And here's what happens. Are they moving too fast for me to see? Oh, those are the chests I put in. What the heck is happening here? Oh, now it's sending lapis in. What happened? Okay. Item hopper. Oh, okay. Here's another thing. If you have an item sorter in your line, you're going to have a bad time. I accidentally placed the sorter rather than the hopper because I had them reversed in my head on the thing. So, let's try this again. This is the hopper. So, you see ladders are going past, ladders are going past, ladders are going in here. Now sticks are going past. But when it gets to the lapis, you notice the lapis isn't going past at all. The lapis is still draining, but it's going right into this chest. And it's because I told it I wanted lapis. Now, the other thing that this can do, there's my 30 lapis back. The other thing that this can do is I will get, anzidite. Probably throw those. I'll get anzidite and I'll get diorite. That's just anzidite, right? Okay. The other thing that this can do is when you put your anzidite into it, you can right-click to do group sorting. Now it's doing any type of variant of stone, which means, allegedly, if I put anzidite and diorite in here, it should grab both of those, because that is a variation on stone. And then the same thing can be done with iron ingot. Oh, guess not. I think the same thing can be done with oh, not that. Planks. It will now grab any type of plank. If I don't, it will just grab oak planks. And so that's the difference between a group. This grabs any planks, this grabs just oak planks. And so, maybe signs? No? Okay. It's usually a couple updates behind. So sometimes the newest stuff, it doesn't understand. I wonder if it knows glowberries. Oh, it does know glowberries. Okay, so we'll put in some glowberries. And it is now taking all those glowberries into this chest rather than letting them go by. And this is all that sorting hoppers does. Everything you see, everything anyone sees, if they see that, if they see a chest but they don't see the hopper, that means, so, the bottom is a normal hopper, okay? The bottom is a normal hopper for most cases. The sorter goes above the normal hopper. And this way, you can completely hide, obviously you can't get to your chest this way, but you can completely hide the hopper. You can have the chest come forward. And that's all that is. Now, if you run into a situation where, and sorters next to each other, they can grab out different things. There's no, and this one can grab out diorite, that one can grab out anzidite, or glowberries, and if you put them in, they will work just like they're supposed to. That one's diorite, there's anzidite, and the glowberries. So, that's all it is. It's just hiding the hoppers. Now, if you run into a situation where, you have, let's say, you want to double this up. You don't want a single chest. You actually have to have chests over here and chests over here. And, oops. Okay, that takes some more space. But let's say you wanted a chest up here on the back of the wall, and you wanted a chest over here on the front of the wall. Okay, but you want them to take different things. Now, it will always default to the lowest hopper. It defaults pulling to the lowest hopper. So if you just have a hopper here, and you have a sorter, or if you just have a hopper and another hopper, even if you do this, because that will go down, it will always take it just to this chest. Okay? And the way I'm going to show you to do this, you will need a sorter on both. You need a sorter on here and a sorter on here. The top sorter has to take both of what you want. So it has to take both anzidite and diorite. Okay? That's because you want it to get to this level. You want it to drop from this level to this level. But this, you only want diorite here. Let's say you only want diorite, and this is where you want your anzidite. Okay? Oh, I'm saying that backwards. So this is anzidite, this is diorite. So let's say this chest, you only want anzidite. Okay? Now, you've put in anzidite and diorite. Those will pull it equal. It doesn't matter where they are on here. This isn't a rank list. It'll pull both of those equally. You go to the next one, and you say diorite, because it will default to the bottom, or at least it should. Which means when I stick anzidite and diorite in, what should happen is that the anzidite drops down here and can't go further, because this one does not exist in its eyes. And so it sticks it over here in this chest. The diorite drops down here, but must go further, because the bottommost hopper takes priority. And since it does exist in the diorite size, it goes into this chest. And so what I have down in my basement, which I will show you using our lift mod, we have a lift plugin. That's a fun plugin. Now it adds a ding. I absolutely love it. So what I have going on down in my basement area is, so I've got two sets of chests, and it looks like they're just chests, but they're actually not. I'm going to go to an area where you can see the back. Okay? So this is actually what they look like. They've got a gap in between, obviously. And the reason for that gap is, I always forget. So here's my hopper line. This is my main hopper line. This points to nothing. This points to nowhere. And it has to just keep going. At the very end of my hopper line, I will have hoppers that go down into some sort of chest. It'll wrap back around and dump into a dump chest. Things that I haven't sorted, things that can't be sorted, things that are too hard to sort, will just go into a chest that I can manually take care of. Okay? But, so here's my hopper line. This is currently where it stops. And then this is what my hoppers look like. Now, this is very, very confusing, so I will demonstrate by making a new line. So, you need your hoppers to go past where you are. So, we are going down this hallway, so we need the hoppers to go past that hallway. Now, you also need your hoppers to go past, see this? Well, yeah, or stop. Let me see how I did that. I can't remember. I think the last hopper just points down. But that's because, that's alright, because it's only pulling things that are sorted anyway. So it's different than, like if this hopper pointed down, it'd just pull everything. That hopper, the sorter is, this is the sorter right here. And this sorter does deep slate and cobble deep slate. And the way that I've got it set up is very compact, and it only sorts one to whichever side, one to either side. So you do that, you get your main, let me grab one of these. You get your main like that, and then, well, actually, excuse me, it has been a while since I set this up, so I'm going to have to figure out, okay, so that's what I did. I like to stay with the same pattern. So what I'm going to do is, you face, yeah, face this way. Boop, boop. So you've got two normal hoppers, like that, and you have one sorter. Alright? And then you take two normal hoppers, like this, and one sorter. And it looks difficult, but it's not really, because all you do is you take your main sorter, or your main hopper line, and you feed them into I'm struggling with controls right now. You take your main line and you split it like this. And when you get to right here, you put your sorter. And if I want lapis on this side and wood on that side, I'm going to do the same thing I told you about. Is you put lapis and wood in. And this time it will pull both through this line. This is your new hopper line. When you get here to the end, idealistically you would not have put them both up at the same time. When you get here to the end, if you want lapis on this side, you go to this sorter and you say lapis. You go to that sorter and you say oak planks. And you do that all the way down. You make sorters that point, you make hoppers that point to each chest and sorters above them. And you do that all the way down. And then, when you send in any of that stuff, it will automatically pull it through this line. It will then automatically pull it through these. And then it will automatically give it priority to the bottom, which means these bottom ones always have. And it will fill this first, then it'll fill that, then it'll fill that. And when that's full, it'll fill the hopper line, and then come here and fill these chests. Fill the hopper line, fill these chests. Which I just realized I might need 2 hopper lines, but that's okay. That means lapis lazuli goes on this side, and wood on the other. If I'm confusing you by doing this, just mute me. Okay. Just mute me and watch how I build it. Like, because it's 2 normal hoppers feeding in to one direction, and a sorter above them feeding into that same direction. And that's how you sort into what I do. Most of the people are not going to be doing this extravagant thing. Most people are going to just have a normal, what was I going to say? Just have a normal system, which that was the system I was showing up front. Most people are just going to have 5 chests in a row. Like this is a very good example. Now this is a hopper system I have coming from the top of my house, and it goes back there. If I wanted particular things in here, I would just put 1 sorter, and it would pull it, and then drop all of that thing in here. But this is just a catch-all for all the crap that I've got right now, because I haven't sorted any of this out, because I have started a very extensive sorting project, and I did not realize that until I had started it, how extensive it truly was going to be. So, a little bit of buyer's remorse when it comes to that, but I'll figure out a way to make it more compact. But yeah, that'll do it for that. That is the sorting hoppers, and everything I know about how to use them. I'm sure, little kitty cat, little doggy poo. I'm sure there's a lot of things other people know how to do. So, boop. For me and the kitty cat and the doggy, thank you for watching. I'll see you in a bit.